it was a Mason Mount, like about him having a dream or whatever as a kid or whatever. I've never seen so many people cry about a bit of fabric in my life, bro. Honestly, just genuinely, like, get a life. Do you know what I'm saying?
Hello there, guys. It's Ben here from SW6 Lions TV. I hope you're all well. We're joined by the main guy, Matt. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm all good. We're the only team in London with the European Cup. We're the only team in London with the European Cup. We're the only team in London.
Good.
Yeah,
Good go there, Matty boy. And we're joined, I won't say by a special guest because I can't say it, but we're joined by Bob down there, the Spurs fan. How are you, mate?
Get in 2-2 against Rennes in the Conference League. Get in. But you've not done that, have you? Yeah.
Bob, I just wanted to ask you if you've got a Tottenham shirt looking like that.
Champions, yeah, but it's from '61, mate. It's the first one that we had, but it's somewhere, you know. We'll put it safely. It's in the fucking antiques.
I don't even think my nan was born, let alone me.
Big up, guys. Thank you for having me on.
That's fine, mate. No worries. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for your time, mate. Right, well, let's go. Let's talk about recent results. Let's get into it. So, Bob, we'll start with you because obviously you started well. You started the season well, but what's happening now? What's going on?
Yeah, 3 wins out of 3, 3 clean sheets. Best performance so far was, ironically, against Man City, the hardest team we played. And then we had a couple of wins against Watford and Wolves, or vice versa, and we came away with the points, but it wasn't really convincing, you know, especially with all due respect to Wolves and Watford. It wasn't, you know, the out and out expressive Spurs way. I know a lot of people laugh at that, but it wasn't the typical Spurs way. So we're holding on. And then we obviously we've had a couple of we've had a couple of Conference League games in there, but then we played Palace at the weekend, and we got it all wrong. When I say we, I mean Nuno got it all wrong. We'd have had a couple of injuries. We just didn't perform, and it was like you know, a reality check. If I'm honest with you, we've had a game tonight in Rennes in the Champions Conference League, I like to call it, and yeah, we came back, mate. But it's nothing that's really filling us with confidence at the moment, unfortunately.
I spoke to a few Spurs fans actually against when you played Palace, and they were mentioning your midfield was a joke, like your centre midfielders. I can't remember who played. Who was it? Winks, Dyer.
Yeah, we essentially played with 3 DMs. So we played Winks, Skip, and Højbjerg and even before the kickoff, we were just inviting pressure on. We were inviting the attacks on from Palace. You know, Palace. You had the old Vieira thing, you know, the ex-Guna, you know, their biggest London derby they've had at home for God knows how long, you know, with fans. So they're always going to be up for it. I just think Nuno overthought it. He didn't have to make those changes. We could have gone in with just making the 2, but no, he got it wrong. We hope he's learned from it. He shouldn't have to learn from it, seeing he's been a professional manager for nearly 10 years. But it's a wait and see, mate. It's all new, isn't it? We've got new players, new manager. We can just hope it gets better sooner than later. We seem to play better against the bigger teams, and at this time of moment, unfortunately, it's no bigger than Chelsea.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Up the Chelsea.
Right, Matt, we'll come to you. So how have we been performing? Obviously, I know, but
yeah. Nah, can't complain really. Obviously, last time out was Zenit. It was a pretty poor game. I mean, me and you were both there. It was pretty poor to watch, but I think that's what makes good teams great, is when you can kind of win games that you're not really playing that well in. I think as well, going back to Villa at the weekend as well, we won 3-0, but I wouldn't say we played particularly well in that either, to be honest. And we still come out with 2 clean sheets and 2 wins. So if we can do that when we're not playing well, it's kind of scary to think what we can do when we are playing well. It's one of those things. I suppose we're kind of proving why we're sort of like champions of Europe and stuff. Obviously, a lot of people were saying we're like the worst champions for a long time and whatever else. But I think we're kind of showing people actually why we are champions of Europe, because I can't think of a team right now in world football that I think can beat us at the minute. So it's all pretty positive, to be honest.
It is one of them, like as you said, like that Zenit game was boring as well. We didn't even create many chances, but we are still winning. We're still getting a goal and hold. Like we weren't holding on against them. I don't think they particularly played well against us either. But it's just a bit of a dead rubber game, wasn't it? Like no chance.
Yeah, it was
boring.
It was just quite boring. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think against Tottenham we'll obviously turn up. I do think we'll turn up against Tottenham. But before we
I think both teams will. To be fair,
yeah, I think
it's a big London derby, isn't it? Both teams will.
Before we get into that, go on, Bob.
I was going to say we've picked up a couple of injuries tonight as well. So looks like Bergwijn and Lucas, who's probably been our best. Yeah. So we've got another two attackers who are out. I don't know if they're going to miss Sunday's game, but they wouldn't have come off if it wasn't too. Harry Kane came off as well with about 15, 20 minutes. No, sorry. He came off about 8 minutes into the second half. I don't know if that was in mind. If Sunday was in mind, he didn't go down the tunnel or anything. He didn't seem to have any strapping on. But if we were going to get Kane off early, I would assume you'd take him off about 20, 15 minutes to go, not 8 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, it seems like you are going to save him for Sunday, though. But that was my next question, actually. Moving on to that nicely, is what are your thoughts on Harry Kane? Because obviously it's quite split between Spurs fans, isn't it? Like, obviously he wanted to go, and what's your thoughts on him?
Well, there's a narrative that the only reason Kane's not gone is because Levy's pulled a masterstroke and we've managed to hold on to him. No, the only reason he's not gone is because Man City didn't come up with the money. Yeah. By not turning up for training, by having a bit of a shit show earlier on in the season, beginning of the season, what it's allowed is unfortunately in a position where he can't have a bad game. Even if he's off form, he can't afford, because all the fan base who are questioning his commitment are going to point their finger at him now. Whereas before, if he had a bad game, you'd always think, you know what, Harry Kane, at least he'll give it his all. His commitment's there. His Spurs through and through. Unfortunately, because of what he did earlier in the season, there'll always be that element of fan base to say, no, Kane doesn't give a shit anymore, and he's got no justification. He can't say otherwise, because unfortunately his action have proved it otherwise in a lot of fans. But he's not having the best of seasons, mate. He's had a couple of goals in the Conference League at home against a team who were named after a chocolate bar. And that's about it. He had one shot today. He's played better for England this season than for Spurs. Having said that, he's not been great for England. So, but let's see. Chelsea's going to be his biggest test of the season, because obviously he wasn't there for the Man City game. So we'll wait and see. Do
you think it was a bonus that he stayed, or would you have rather him gone?
I said right from day one. Unfortunately, or fortunately, we have got one of the best strikers in Europe at our club. He is our best player. If we want to progress, just like you guys are playing around Lukaku's strength and everything else, we need to start playing around his strength. He is our best player, hands down. And if we want to be successful, if we want to dream of being successful, if the board are going to finally back our dreams and our ambition, we need to keep the likes of Harry Kane at the club. Selling him would have been such a negative effect, certainly in my mind. We shouldn't be selling a Harry Kane. If we want to be a big club, we shouldn't be selling Harry Kane, especially to the dickheads like Man City. At the same moment, I hate Man City more than I hate Arsenal. That's saying something, but I think with Man City, that's a personal thing. I think the way they walk around, the self-entitlement, attitude, and Pep quite blatantly tapping up Harry Kane in press conferences, and if they're doing us a favour, we'll take Harry Kane off you, because no one else will, and we'll do him a favour. We'll bring him over here, and we'll get him to buy a few trophies, which can be said about Chelsea, but at least we've had a project. Man City, to fans walk around thinking they're entitled to all these trophies, whereas quite clearly they've been bought.
Yeah, the thing I think with that is, if them owners came into your club, would you be buzzing with it?
If what? Sorry.
So it's like, say if the Man City owners bought Tottenham, I do sort of see it as because Levy obviously doesn't spend as much, nowhere near as much money as obviously or the City owner. So when people say that, obviously it is true. Like they spend loads of money, but obviously when it's your club, you'd obviously take it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course. But I think, Matt, what it is the owner. You own it. You know, there's City fans who are sitting there in denial, thinking that they would have got all this. Because I'll be honest with you, I've got Chelsea mates. They're not in denial. They say, "Yeah, we've got Roman, but he's got the club's best interest at heart."
Yeah.
And they own it. They own it. They say, "Yeah, man, we're buying the best players. We can go out there and pick and choose."
Yeah.
Whereas the Man City fans, they're in denial. They're like, "Nah, man, we would have been there anyway," which pisses me off.
Yeah, okay.
And that's the biggest difference.
Yeah. Well, you saw what Pep said today. You're like, I'm inviting all the City fans to a flock. Do you see that? Because their fans are shite, to be fair. They don't turn up at all.
They can't buy class and they can't buy fans, mate. You'll always get proper clubs.
I hear you on that point. You are right. Their fans are shocking. So that gets me onto it. So rivalries, right? Is Chelsea Tottenham getting bigger than Tottenham Arsenal?
Arsenal will always be Arsenal. Chelsea, there's always been that grudge match, haven't they? You know, think of the Battle of the Bridge and the final, the Carling Cup, when you were expected to win it. There's always been that grievance, but Arsenal are Arsenal, man. I don't know how Chelsea see it, because you've got a pick of a number of derbies, haven't you? North London, although there is a clamour who say that.
I always look for Tottenham. Like that's my biggest day. Tottenham away, like I'm going on Sunday, and Tottenham at home are the best games. Like for atmosphere, I just love that. They're the game I get up for. Yeah, even though like sometimes it's not even fighting for much, but it's so massive for us. Pride. And
there's always incidents as well, isn't there? Think of it. I don't know, going back to Gallas's 52-yard strike in the last seconds, the Battle of the Bridge, the League Cup with penalties, Eriksen's goal out of nowhere to make it 1-1 when we last time we beat you there. Dele Alli's 2 headers. There's always something.
You just don't want to lose the game. Both teams can't stand losing the game. Matt, what's your biggest game? What do you look forward
to? West Ham. No, I'm joking. Although you could argue they're a little bit bigger than Spurs at the minute, but but no, I think I agree. It's probably got to be Spurs, especially over the last couple of years. I mean, every time I think, obviously I'm a bit younger than you guys, but every time I think of Chelsea Spurs, it just comes to me like Matic when he hit that shot at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final, like that ridiculous goal. Like you mentioned, Battle of the Bridge was a bit brutal. And I remember Chelsea Spurs in the Carling Cup final being one of like the first big Chelsea games I watched because I would have been like about 5 at the time.
Or when we lost.
I remember that being one of like the biggest games I watched like to start with, and even though we lost it, it was still a good day.
Right, we'll move on to the game. So Matt, we're going in Sunday, 4:30, massive game,
huge game.
Who are we looking out for?
What for us?
Who are we scared of?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think anyone, to be honest.
Really?
I mean, you've got to say Kane, but am I right in saying Son's injured? Son's out.
Son might be back, mate. There's a small chance Sonny might be back. Yeah,
he'll be back, mate. He'll be in that starting 11.
Oh yeah, he'll do Man United.
It's 50-50, but like I said earlier, like currently as a Chelsea fan, the way we're defending, the way we're playing, I don't really fear anyone in not just in England but in Europe. Do you know what I mean? So. Obviously, there's going to be dangers. It's Chelsea, Tottenham. Both teams are going to be up for it. And like I say, if Son's back, that's a big bonus for Spurs. Obviously, that's huge. Kane is Kane. Do you know what I mean? Even when he's playing badly, he can still pop up with a goal here and there. But to be honest, other than those two, I can't really think of anyone else that I would be particularly like fearful of. I mean, if Chelsea can hold off the likes of Salah, Mane, and all that lot for a whole half with 10 men, then I think we'll feel a bit confident. I feel all right, to be fair.
Bob, is he being harsh there? Or is that right?
No, I think another reason why I wanted to keep Kane, you can have the quietest game for 89 minutes and then score a goal right at the end. We kind of saw that for England. So he has got that in his locker. But we have to be realistic. Chelsea are going to be favourites. If Sonny's back, there's a large number of the fan base who think that Sonny is more important to Spurs right now than what Kane is, and you can see why. He's more feared certainly amongst opposition fans. Obviously, I speak to opposition fans on my channel, and the first question they ask, just like Matt did, it's a case of is Sonny going to be fit?
Yeah.
So
that's what I would have said. I would have said Son. I'm looking out for. What about you? Looking at us, who would you say are our danger men? Because it's
no one, mate. No,
everyone,
no one,
everyone. It's got to be everyone.
It's nice to hear it from an outsider, especially a rival's point of view. It's
only Chelsea. It's only Chelsea, isn't it? No. Okay, I'll be serious.
It's only the champions.
Name the whole 11.
No, mate. I've been a big lover of Conte all my life. Well, obviously since the Leicester days, and I've been on my channel many a times. One player I've ever wanted from Chelsea's Conte. I think he's Ballon d'Or-esque. Honestly, I think he's absolutely amazing. But right now, you can't look any further past Lukaku. The way he started off, he's brought that extra level. I think Werner's probably looking at him thinking, right, that's my numbers. My numbers, my days are numbered. But Romero comes back. The South American guys come back on a Friday.
Yeah. Who's that?
Exactly. Well, it's the defender who kept Lukaku quiet twice last season. Italian league defender of the season. But no, we actually do want Romero back because he has had, and I think Lukaku's been a record saying he's one of the best defenders he's faced as well. So we want Romero back purely and simply. He does know what it's like to challenge and fight against a Lukaku. Whereas if we've got Tanganga's not fit, we've got Rodon in there. He's not come up against Lukaku. So we do need someone who's had previous with Lukaku. But mate, if Lucas is out and Bergwijn's out, we're struggling with numbers, and it all comes down to the board not doing what they needed to do in the summer.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Right, we'll get straight into a predicted combined 11. So I'll ask you both, and then
do we have to?
we can see what we get.
I'm only picking one.
Are we going 4-4-2? Then at least
we'll go 4-4-2 straight up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Goalkeeper. We'll start with Matt first, and we'll go Bob. Matt, who are you picking?
Come on, it's not even debatable. You got to go with the goalkeeper of the year, man. Come on. He keeps clean sheets for days. Mate.
Hey, Bob,
Mendy for me.
Yeah, if you're bringing, did you pause?
No, go on.
You're still there? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. No. If you're bringing someone up for an argument, mate, you brought the fucking wrong person on. Lloris has been shocking this season. He's flat. He's not. So you're not going to have any arguments. Plus, I like a goalkeeper anyway. Mendy's class, and he did win. He did win an award, didn't he?
Yeah. Cool. I like that. Good start, boys.
More trophies than Spurs, no?
Yeah, probably.
Right, we'll go with we'll go right back first. Matty.
To be honest, again, I think it's not even debatable. Azpilicueta's got to go there all day. I'd stick him if we're going 4-4-2. I've got to put Azpilicueta right back without a doubt.
So you're going to miss out Reece James.
If we're making a combined 11, if we're going 4-4-2 for a combined 11, I think Azpilicueta is the best right back out of them all of Chelsea's and all of Spurs. If we're going 4-4-2, because I think Reece James is a lot better in a more advanced position down the right. So I would go Azpilicueta right back. I can't say even know who the Spurs right back is, so this should be interesting.
Tanganga, hands down. When you've got £100 million defender, you know what? The bit those.
Ratty, you said £100 million.
Yeah, £100 million. No, he kept Grealish in his pocket, didn't he? I mean, against Man City, the most impressive thing about Tanganga was his bulge. in his shorts. Absolutely, but honestly, then I realised. Then we all realised it was Grealish and Sterling in his pockets. He kept them quiet. All fucking game. He's been our best defensive right back. At this time moment, obviously, we've just brought Emerson in. He's only been in for a game and a half. And Doherty, mate, I'd play you ahead of Doherty. So, that's how shit he is.
You're going.
But I'd put place up for Tango. If we're going defensive, for me personally, if I'm playing, if we are playing an attacking team, then Tanganga's hands down been our best right back.
Would you have him
on
Reece James?
I love Reece James, mate. I love Reece James. So there's a big debate between him and Trent on
yeah, I see that. Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
I mean, Trent's probably just a bit ahead of Reece James. I think he's done it against the bigger teams more often, isn't he?
Yeah,
I think those games are going to come for him.
Yeah.
I think that's why I picked Azpilicueta. Because he's done it for flipping. Yeah. How many years has he done it for now? And I think I saw something the other day that said he's never made a mistake that's led directly to a goal.
Wow.
Yeah, being at Chelsea, and he's been there not 8-9 years now.
Yeah,
this club legend for me. Legend.
You know what? We're going to go straight to the front three because I think the midfield sort of says itself. We're going to go straight to the front three.
Why does the midfield say itself? What are you on about?
Oh, I don't know.
Kante and Jorginho are a joke, aren't they?
Yeah, and who?
Jorginho,
Kante, and.
So if we're playing
if we go 4-3-3,
4-4, you're going for 2 in midfield. See, I'd put a fight in for Højbjerg. Come on, man.
Against Kante or Jorginho.
I think what Jorginho. If we're going 4-4-2, then I'll definitely play. We've got the two. You're playing. We've got front three. If we're going 4-4-2, we're going to need 2 wings.
Oh, yeah, sorry. If we're 4-4-2, we'll go. Yeah, so Kante and Jorginho, surely.
No, man. Pierre's so underrated, and he's going to be. I mean, today he showed what he's up. Playing further afield for Denmark, man. For Denmark,
I'm taking Kovacic over. I'm having Kante, Jorginho, and Kovacic ahead of any of Spurs midfielders.
The player you were like, I'm inquiring about if to buy or not.
Mate, I'm taking Bakayoko over Højbjerg.
Seriously,
Højbjerg's got to be there.
I do rate Højbjerg, but I just don't think he's on the level of Jorginho and Kante at the minute. He's a bit of a
coming out there for Billy Gilmore.
I think what we're going to get, though, aren't we? What we're going to get is we're going to look at players who we see week in work out, and all jokes aside, he's been absolutely. He's been class for us. He really has. He's made a difference in that midfield. You wouldn't think it where we finish in the fucking league. But he certainly saved us on numerous occasions. There'll be some fan base who'd say he's probably second in line behind Sonny as the most important player at the club right now, the way he's performed. But
so do you think you could justify? Sorry, Ben, quickly. Do you think you could justify picking Højbjerg over, like, all jokes aside, picking Højbjerg over UEFA Midfielder of the Year and UEFA Men's Player of the Year? Do you think genuinely you could justify picking anyone over those two at the minute?
I would say Højbjerg in Chelsea's team alongside Conte would improve you more than what Jorginho and Kovacic would.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I agree, to be honest. I just can't see it.
Yeah, I think the balance is better. I think Jorginho starts our play and moves the ball on, and he can control the game so well.
I rate him. But I say we're going to have that, aren't we?
We're going to
plays that you see week in work out. Yeah.
Because I think with Jorginho as well, when we played Villa at the weekend, that first half we struggled so much it was ridiculous, and he came on at half time, and this is what the people who don't rate Jorginho, this is what they need to watch. He made that Chelsea team as soon as he was on the pitch from minute 45 to 90. I wasn't concerned that Villa were going to score, and I think it's because he was on the pitch and he knows how to control. That guy can control the game with his arms. He can just point in one direction or the other, and he controls the whole Chelsea team. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And to think as well, guys, that you're going to see Chelsea fans some of the Chelsea fans want to see him sold, didn't they, under Lampard
it's
or when he
very
was getting a
split.
Game?
Very split. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never ever wanted Jorginho gone. Never.
I'll confess, I wanted him out because he was dog. Under Lampard, he was crap, right? And then Lampard started like not playing him and stuff like that. And you're going to go behind your club legend. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, yeah. And then you sort of get in the most. And then under Sarri, he pissed me off as well. Yeah. But then you can see under Tuchel, like Tuchel just got him playing like so much quicker, better, going forward a bit more. But yeah, under Lampard,
I've always said about him. As soon as Chelsea were to sell him, everyone would be saying how we'd be watching. So if we were to get rid of him, all the Chelsea fans in certain games would be like, "This is where we need Jorginho. This is where Jorginho would have come in and done well."
Oh, you're going to get that. Of course, going to get that.
So as soon as he's gone, people will be like, "We need him back. This is what he would have done." But I've never ever wanted him gone, so I really rate him.
Yeah, I get that. Right, so we go wingers, boys. We have that. This is why I try to move on.
Or you can edit it or whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So we'll go to the wingers. Left wing, Matty.
Mate, you said it yourself. Sonny's going to have to.
I was going to say, yeah. I think it's got to be Son. I would agree. I would agree because he was the one player that I'm saying I'm going to take. So I would put Son on the left.
Yeah. I mean,
simple.
Quick.
We should have done a 4-3-3. We both play 4-3-3, don't we?
I was going to say, I don't know why we didn't do 4-3-3.
Anyway,
fair enough.
We'll crack on. Right wing.
Right wing.
I don't know, because that's quite tough because
we ain't really got
I want to put. I was going to say I want to try and get either Mount or Havertz in this team, but
you can put. You can have that. So in our front two, we can have one behind the striker.
Or you play someone who normally plays right back, and is Lucas, who's been our best number 10/right winger for a season and a half. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, go on.
No, go on. Yeah, go on.
No, I was going to say since the Everton away game last season, he's been absolutely fantastic. There's obviously questions about his end product. He doesn't have the end product of a Sonny, or certainly a Sonny anyway. But right wingers, mate, if we say we've been crying out for a right winger all season and all throughout the summer, I think you have my stance on. I think we're both kind of clutching at straws, aren't we? What about Ziyech? What's happened to Ziyech?
Don't ask.
Oh, don't ask. Don't ask.
Man.
That guy is an absolute tool, mate. Get him gone.
Really?
Honestly, bruv, ratted. He is so dead, bruv. I can't even. Honestly, I was so excited. I was so excited when he came to the club. So excited when he came to the club. And honestly, he has one good game and then about 20 stinkers, mate. Honestly, I don't even put his name in the conversation with Havertz, Mount, Lucas.
Really?
I don't care. Don't get him. That was rude. That conversation.
That was rude of you to even mention him there. Yeah, but
I'll celebrate when he scores.
He ripped us in the semi-final in the semi-final Champions League a couple of seasons ago. He was all over us. Lloris was making left.
That's why I was excited. That's why I was not hard. That's why I was excited because he looked so good at Ajax, so good at Ajax. And then for some reason, I don't know. I genuinely don't know what it is because I would say he's not built for the Premier League, but then even in the Champions League, he's not been that great for us either. Like against Zenit the other night, he was awful.
I do like Mount though. I do like Mason Mount, be it young English, and he always gets picked for England.
Yeah.
So for me, I'd pick him over. Who was it? He said Mount or would you play him down the right?
Yeah. Matt, that is your fight really, Moore or Mount, because he's been playing on the right, hasn't he?
Yeah. To be fair as well, Mount weren't great the other night, but all over Twitter, I've been seeing all this stuff about Mason Mount in the last few days, and all this all this shit about him having a banner and all this crap. Right? Honestly,
about banner
for some, so I don't know if you know, but Chelsea made a big crowd banner, massive flag for him to go across the crowd, and it was a Mason Mount about him having a dream or whatever as a kid or whatever. I've never seen so many people cry about a bit of fabric in my life, bro. Honestly, just genuinely, like, get a life. Do you know what I'm saying? Because for the last week or so, all I feel like is Chelsea fans want something to complain about. They want to find something to moan about. We're currently champions of Europe, unbeaten this season, sitting joint top of the league. Won the first game in the Champions League. What more do you want? Genuinely, what more do you want? We said last season we needed to sign a number 9 out-and-out striker. We've gone out and got one of the best in the world at what he does. We've got one of the best managers in the world. Why are people trying to find something to complain about? I genuinely don't get it, because I'm scrolling through Twitter and I'm seeing it all and I'm like, honestly, what does Chelsea have to do to make their fan base happy? I don't get it. Because clubs like Arsenal, Spurs, if they won the Champions League, they'd have a DVD and a celebration about it for about 10 years. We only won the Champions League a few months ago. Do you know what I'm saying? Never. Yeah. It feels like we're never, ever satisfied, and it really bugs me. Because I don't have a moan, but
Matt, I want to know, and this is I was going to do a video about it, and I think more people should be talking about it. Is Chilwell? What has happened to him? Why has he been out so much?
So, I don't claim that I'm like inside knowledge and I know, but I think what it was was he obviously went to the Euros. He was obviously our first choice left wing back at the time. Started the Champions League final, was quality in that. Went to the Euros, and I think Southgate was always going to play Luke Shaw ahead of him anyway. And then it came to I think it was the game. Who was the last game of the group? Was it Czech Republic we played in the last game of the group? I think it was.
Denmark.
Sorry. Czech Republic in the last group game. And it was already pretty much nailed on that we were going to go through the group. And I think Chilwell was starting that game until he had to self-isolate after the Scotland game, didn't he? Because Gilmore called it. So he had to self-isolate. So he missed that game. And then by the time he came back, we were in the knockout phases. And by that point, you don't really want to be switching the team around much. So he didn't get a minute at the Euros. He's then obviously come back at the same time as everyone else from the England team. So he's only come back at a certain. So Alonso didn't go to the Euros, did he? So he had the whole of pre-season with Chelsea. He was there at the training ground the whole time. And I think Tuchel probably just saw it as him being he was a little bit more match fit and match ready at the time. Chilwell obviously hadn't played a game of football since the end of May. So we're looking.
I get your point, right? To me, Chilwell's probably better than Alonso. But I get your point. What you're saying, he's better. But Alonso's just played in the Champions League against Zenit. He started all the games. Like, he hasn't rotated. He's the only one that hasn't really been rotated, Alonso.
Yeah, no, do you know what? I was very, very surprised that Chilwell wasn't starting on Tuesday, because I thought he was going to start. But I just think it comes down to the fitness side of things. I think Tuchel he's got a system. He wants to play that way, and he clearly thinks that there's things we don't see that he obviously does. He's there every day. We're not there all the time. So clearly, in the eyes of Tuchel, who we can't really argue against at the moment, he's clearly thinking that Alonso's better fitted to play games at the minute. It's sad because I really like Ben Chilwell, and I think towards the end of last season he was ridiculous.
So tell me if I'm wrong. Tuchel seems like a manager who, if it ain't broke, no point fixing it. He would have that starting 11 playing every single game if it was up to him, wouldn't it?
And Alonso's not started that badly, in my opinion. So I think he's kind of thinking Alonso's not playing bad, so there's no point. And like you say, he's kind of.
He's not a tinker man. He's not a tinker man, is he? He's not a.
He is. He rotates it quite a lot. ZH comes in and out.
I think he rotates. I think he rotates the front three.
Reece James has come out. Aspilicueta. I think he changes it quite a lot, doesn't he?
That's a Chilwell thing, then.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I feel like towards the end of last season, like we I don't know about you, but I could feel like I could kind of predict what starting 11 we were going to play, what back three was going to play. It was going to be Aspilicueta, Christensen, Rudiger, or Aspilicueta, Thiago Silva, Rudiger. There was only going to be one change.
That's what I mean. There is changes. Thiago Silva comes in. Christensen comes in. There are quite a few changes.
Maybe it's just a good headache to have when you've got such a good squad.
Yeah. But I just think there's something going on there because he literally, if he doesn't play against Aston Villa, then I think that there's something big going on.
I think Alonso will start on Sunday.
He will,
and then I think Chilwell will start.
He likes playing against Tottenham.
He does.
Tottenham fans.
Wembley. I remember Wembley, our first game, Wembley.
Yeah. Are you going to the game?
I think
Sunday
starts on.
I can't, mate. No. I've got pressing matters. I've got work and stuff. But I'm hoping to make the North London derby, so that should be. Also, wait and see.
Yeah.
Who's our attack? Who's our attack? Quickly, we haven't done our attack yet.
Oh, playing 4-4-2, aren't we?
Front two, yeah. I think, to be honest, you've got to go Kane and Lukaku, really. You know, there's no debating. There's no argument, is it? So Mount on the right, and then Kane and Lukaku up top.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sweet, nice one.
Sonny down the left.
Yeah,
that's an attacker. That's an attack and a half.
That's it. Yeah, I would take Son. I would take Son and Kane.
So we've got 9 Chelsea players and 2 Tottenham players. Sounds about right.
No, we've got Tanganga and Højbjerg as well, haven't we?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Hey, mate, I'm Spurs. I clutch at straws and I'm delusional. All right.
You'll be putting Harry Winks instead of Kante now.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Right, we'll go to the last thing. We'll go to the last thing. Matty, we'll start with you.
Yeah.
White Hart Lane. It's my first time going there. I couldn't go there 2 years ago because I was in New York at the time, but I had a ticket to go to it.
Man.
I was gutted. It was 2-0 as well. Willian scored both, didn't he? But Matty, we're going there again. What is your score prediction?
Oh, I never like doing these because I'm always so wrong. I think, obviously, I'm going to back us. I think we are going to win, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as I think certain fans are making it out to be. I think it's going to be quite a tight affair, but I think I'm going to go 2-0 Chelsea, purely because I just can't see us conceding at the minute, like at all. Even when we're playing poorly, we just don't look like we're going to concede. And I think we've got the power and the pace and the finisher up top in Lukaku, and with the options around him, and as well with it being a Spurs game, I think everyone's going to be up for it. So yeah, I think I'm going 2-0 Chelsea.
Yeah, that's fair. I reckon 1-0. I do. I think 1-0. I think we'll bang one in and maybe sit back for a bit. But Bobby, what do you think?
Yeah, obviously I'm going to go Spurs, aren't I, mate? But what I'll do is take confidence from the way we played against Man City, and we'll see what Man City have done since. Scoring 5s and 6s. So they've done all right. And we do always turn up against the bigger sides, and like I said, there's no bigger than Chelsea. The pressure's on Nuno. He needs to pull it out of the bag. I'm a Spurs man, so obviously I'm going to go Spurs. I'm either going to go 1-0 or 2-1. Lukaku's on fire, so we'll let you probably have a goal. We'll probably let you have a goal. We'll probably, but 2-1. Kane, and if
your head
he's going to get one.
Is that your head saying that?
2 or 3 players down the right again. Sorry.
Is that your head saying that, or do you genuinely go to the game thinking, yeah, we'll win this one?
Mate, when it comes to Spurs, it's always hard.
Really? So your head says like we're probably going to lose?
No, my head says 3-0, but I want to be kind to you. So I'll say 2-1.
To be fair though, I think when it's a derby, when it's a big derby like this, I've always said anything can happen. Like I feel like anything can. Look at last season, Chelsea Arsenal at the Emirates. Arsenal are in this dire run of form and they go and beat us 3-0. So it's like it's when it's a derby, I think anything can happen. But my head says about 6-0 Chelsea, but I'm going. Heart says about 2-0. Up the Chelsea, come on.
I get scared for these games. I wake up thinking, please just don't lose. I don't even.
You don't want the games, do you? I'm like that as well. I'd rather not have these derbies.
Yeah.
I'd rather take the piss out of Chelsea for losing against a Man United or an Arsenal, or a Burnley or something, than actually try and sit there and see and wait if I'm able to take the piss out of you guys. I don't want any of that.
Bobby, if we do win, then you're welcome back on. Hopefully we can get on your show.
Oh, come on, mate. I'll come on, 100%.
He's going to bag. Come on, the Chelsea.
Right, boys, cheers for your time anyway. Bobby, if you want to shout out your socials, where can we find you? I don't think many Chelsea fans will be going to you, but if they want to.
No, if Chelsea fans do want to see a bit of class, come to Bob Spur TV.
Or if you want to see the European Cup, you can stay here.
No. Hey, listen. All joking aside, one of my best mates is I've got two. I've got a best mate who's a Gooner. I've got a best mate who's a Chelsea, and we sit there and there's many a times where me and the Gooner are sitting there envious of what you guys done. But like I say, I ain't got an issue with some of the Chelsea fans because you take ownership of the fact that you've built it on a really good businessman who knows about football, who loves Chelsea, who nearly came to Tottenham, bastard. But he has done it, and he's done it properly. And there's no bullshit with him. If manager's not performing, I don't care if you're a Ranieri or a legend like Lampard. You're out the fucking door. I don't care if you've just won the European Champions League. You're out the door because you're doing shit at the moment. And that's what's great about Chelsea. Spurs are in my blood. Spurs are in my heart. I'll always think we're the big. But that's going to be like any rival fan. So no, win, lose or draw, mate. If you want me back on, I'll come back. I'll come back. No issues whatsoever. One thing you'll get with me is honest opinions and fucking banter.
Yeah, no, I do respect that. To be fair, because obviously some fans are like, oh, if they lose,
love that.
Yeah, no, love that. Guys, thanks for your time. It's been quality. It's been a good one. I've enjoyed this one more than any other one. I think this has been a good one. So thanks for your time, guys. That's it, guys. That's all right. No worries. Matt, cheers for your time, buddy.
We hate Tottenham. We hate Tottenham. We hate Tottenham.
Come on, Spurs. Come on,
boys.